video is Mother's Position and Responsibilities. The wife and mother should not sacrifice her strength and allow her powers to lie dormant, leaning wholly upon her husband. Her individuality cannot be merged in his. She should feel that she is her husband's equal, to stand by his side, she faithful at her post of duty and he at his. Her work in the education of her children is in every respect as elevating and ennobling as any post of duty he may be called to fill, even if it is to be the chief magistrate of the nation. So we see countries going through elections, right? And we generally hold people in government positions in high regard, even though sometimes we see people can be corrupt in those positions. We still really recognize them as, wow, you are such an important person. But what she's saying here is that the mother who is at home with her children is just as important as a member of parliament. And I think once a lot of us get that into our head, it will help us to appreciate that, oh, I'm not just a maid, I'm not just a cook. You're a mother, you're the queen of the home. It's a very beautiful and honorable position. So be encouraged, because the little things that you are doing with the children every single day, though it may be invisible to other people, God sees what you're doing, and he values you as an individual, and he values the effort that you're putting in to make sure that your children are shaped in his glory, right? Okay. The children are to be taught to regard their mother not as a slave whose work is to wait on them, but as a queen who is to guide and direct them, teaching them line upon line, precept upon precept. So yeah, this is just basically what I was saying here. I skipped ahead, but I know that there have been times when I look at the day, or I look at how the day's gone, and I think, I feel like I was kind of waiting on the children a bit, like a maid. And I think, if anything, if we feel like a maid, it's because we're putting that on ourselves. That's what we're telling ourselves. Or maybe our husband or our children is causing us to feel that way. But you're not just a maid. And not that there's anything wrong with being a maid or a cook or a cleaner. These are all very necessary, and good jobs. All money is good money as long as it's legal and morally right. You got to put that caveat there, because there's some other stuff that's legal. But anyway, what I'm saying is, don't see yourself as a slave. You are not a slave. And don't make yourself a slave. If your children are at a certain age and you know that they are more than capable of doing certain things for themselves, then let them do it for themselves. Teach them little things along the way. If you know that they can make up their bed by themselves, let them do it. If you know that they can wash by themselves, then let them do it. Sometimes you still have to check over them and see, have you done this and that properly? But that's what you do to not make yourself a slave. You enable the children, you know what I mean? You rear them up, you encourage them to be independent of you. All right. The Christian mother's sphere of usefulness should not be narrowed by her domestic life. The salutary influence which she exerts in the home circle, she may and will make felt in more widespread usefulness in her neighborhood and in the church of God. Home is not a prison to the devoted wife and mother. So that is such a good quote. Home is not a prison. And how many times have you heard that sentiment of people, of women who stay at home, or maybe women who haven't done that, but in their mind they just think, why would I want to be at home? That is a prison. But it's not a prison. If you are putting God first in your life, if you are seeing, like, if you are finding ways to be grateful for your life and recognizing that this is a glorious position, it's a privilege to have children and to be a mother. When you change your mindset towards certain things, it changes how you do everything. How you do one thing, I spoke about this in another video, is how you do everything. And if you wake up in the morning and you talk to God, you try your best to spend time with God. And when I say spend time with God, I don't just mean like spending an hour in the Bible, because that's not realistic for some of us. Maybe at the end of the day, I don't know, everybody's schedule is different, but sometimes we think, oh, I haven't spent a whole entire 2 hours. No, no, no. constantly talking to God and cultivating a relationship with Him. I'm telling you, God is with you. He cares about what you're doing every single day. And all of these things that I'm reading here, they're things that I'm either working on or I have worked on. These are things that I've told myself, oh, well, I'm just doing this anyway. I'm just doing that. Maybe you've heard some of that in the videos. And then I have to remind myself, Charlotte, like, this is a privileged position. This time with the children, you'll never get it back again. Like, we look at childhood, as was said here, some people see being at home as this prison, but the reality is children are growing every single day, and this time that we have with them, it just won't last forever. And even though we feel like the days may feel long, you won't be doing certain things for them all the time, because as they grow up and they get more independent, they'll be doing certain activities by themselves. So if we just change our mindset and prayerfully approach our duties, you'll see how much more fulfilled and happy you will feel with this position of being at home. Yeah? All right. Mothers, to a great degree, the destiny of your children rests in your hands. If you fail in duty, you may place them in the ranks of the enemy and make them his agents to ruin souls. But by a godly example and faithful discipline, you may lead them to Christ and make them the instruments in his hands of saving many souls. So be encouraged. You're raising the future missionaries of tomorrow. You have no idea where your child is going to end up in life. But if you just faithfully follow God and do what needs to be done, then who knows what they could do in the future. And it may not even be, something that's recognized, like with fame or whatever it is, but just the impact that they make as a person in people's lives will be felt beyond what you could have ever imagined. Our verse of encouragement, Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. All right, then, ladies, thank you for watching. And while you are here, please remember to click, like, and subscribe. Bye.